Do the Comic-Con, then run into the game showcase.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, let's get to cracking.
Beers of War Gaming Podcast.
I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while, but welcome back to the Beers of War Podcast. It is I, Sir Bigness, coming at you from headquarters. We have got Matilda coming from the Beers of War control room and Beer Ninja coming to you from the library. We're glad to be back with you. We got some things to talk about, mostly the Game Awards and also Fan Expo Dallas 2024. Let's go.
So you two, last weekend went to the Dallas Fan Expo last?
2024 Dallas Fan Expo. Mm-hmm.
How was it?
Well, we decided to opt in for the 3-day pass, which I recommend anybody who goes to the Fan Expo to get the 3-day pass. It is so much worth it because Friday, it's a lot of people, but you got breathing room and everything, but you got plenty of time to go shopping and get a lot of cool stuff. I've spent a lot of money over there over the past 3 days. I'm just going to say that right now. Probably the most I've ever spent at a Comic-Con. Saturday was just kind of a nightmare because, you're trying to get the photo ops done with all the celebrities that are there. I must have been in like 4 of them myself. I'm not sure how many you were in, Bigness, but yeah. And then Sunday, got up early, head over there. Nice breathing room, had some really good sales and everything, kind of finished it out strong. So we lost a lot of money there, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I did a lot of game hunting over there. That's mostly what I picked up. And I'll probably be doing a separate video on that and everything on the Beard Ninja channel and everything. Other than that, had some good food while we were gone over there. We're not sponsored by them or the Dallas Comic-Con, of course, but we're not sponsored by this great barbecue place that we discovered that I think Bigness discovered it somehow. And I'm going to kind of let him explain that.
Okay. The barbecue place was actually recommended by our Uber driver. A couple of other members of the Beers of War, Run Fast 2002, and his wonderful life partner, Stephanie. They got an Uber for us coming back from Saturday's show, and I'll get into that in a second. But our Uber driver on the way back, we're like, okay, where's the where's a good place to eat around here? And we were looking for barbecue. I was actually wanting to go to Terry Black's, which is in Deep Ellum, Dallas. But our Uber driver actually recommended a place called 1050, and it's in Richardson, which is a little ways north of Dallas. Closer to our hotel, actually. It was about a 3-4 minute drive from our hotel, which made it convenient for us because we're East Texas people. Dallas traffic is not for the faint of heart. So we went to 1050, and good Lord, you walk in there, and I wish I had got this on camera. Because you walk by, when you get your food, you don't order food and they bring it out to you like traditional restaurants. You walk by the pit, and they pick this giant pit up that looks like a work ice machine on steroids. This big, giant, massive thing that they lift it up, and it's just got smoked meats and delicious treats all in there. And our good buddy Kyle, which I'll get into that, who came down from Georgia to come see us. It's been 7 years since we've seen him, and he kind of just walked up to me and hugged me. He goes, I don't know what to do. There was just so much there. But the food was delicious. And when we get to special guests, I'm gonna let Ninja talk about that one because if you want to talk about an MVP for 2024, the Beers of War at Fan Expo, that's the MVP right there, Ninja. He pulled off some stunts, and we will be forever grateful for him. But we'll get to that in a second. Kind of echoing what he said about the show, Friday, we had an excellent chance to shop, and that's what we did. I mean, that was our plan, is to go Friday. And I also recommend, if you're going to do the 3-day pass, or you're going to spend a long period of time there, especially if you're out of town and you got to travel back and forth to hotels, get the VIP package. Because there's a separate seating area, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're doing all that walking and you need a break and somewhere to sit down, somewhere to have your drink, Saturday is an impossibility. There's nowhere to sit. So the little VIP section has some places where you can go and sit by yourself. You get to go to all the panels. We got to sit in on the last half of a panel with Richard Dreyfuss, which was really interesting. I mean, he's a very funny guy. And listening to him tell stories about how Jaws was made, and talking about Spielberg, because he was just a kid when he made Jaws. But that was worth the price of admission for all of that. And the 3-day pass, yeah, definitely do that. Saturday was chaos. Probably about 65,000 people in that place. Friday was more like 10. Sunday was more like 20 to 25. So there were a lot of people, a lot of folks to get around. I wish the pictures had gone a little smoother, but they didn't have as many guests there as they have in a normal year. I feel bad for David Tennant because, good Lord, he must have taken 5,000 pictures there. Just all the people that wanted to go see him. But all in all, it was a great weekend, and we did meet some celebrities. Keith David, Tim and Travis got pictures with Wayne Knight. Let's see, Alan Tudyk from my favorite show of all time, Firefly. We got a picture. Stacy and I got a picture with Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek: The Next Generation, she absolutely loves Star Trek: The Next Generation. Got a picture with Giancarlo Esposito and Emily Swallow from The Mandalorian. And wasn't there another one, Tim?
Excuse me. Well, I think you had one with Adam Savage, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. One of my nerd heroes. I apologize for forgetting Adam Savage from Mythbusters, and he all of them were great, incredibly gracious. Adam Savage was particularly funny because he's like, I got to get on my tippy toes to get in a picture with you.
Is he actually that short?
He's about 5'7".
I mean, without the tippy toes, he looked about the same. Almost would be the same height as Stacy.
He's not tall. He's not. In fact, it was actually surprising to me because Giancarlo Esposito is not very tall. He was probably 5'5", 5'6".
I mean, I got
them. Tudyk was probably the tallest out of all of them.
No, Jonathan Frakes was eye level with me, and that's one of the things that when I went in for the picture, he kind of looks at me. He goes, "You're the same height as I am," and I was like, "Yeah, bro. You two, sir, are a Bigness."
Yeah, the tallest one that I got a picture with was definitely Tudyk. I remember when we got in the line and it was our turn to go. I just kind of ran up to him and just kind of leaned in to get a hug and everything. So that was pretty cool meeting him and everything. It was wild though. It's just crazy, man, because you're getting in line, you're staying there, you're standing up for a while and whatnot, and eventually the line just goes. And when you get in the photo op part, you're just like pose or whatever, so I'm gonna make the most of it. So I try to talk or say hello or something like that. I know Kevin Bigness got like some handshakes in there and everything, so that was cool.
I always tell them thank you because this is something they don't have to do.
Yeah, thanks for coming to Texas.
Thank you for coming to Dallas. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's always one of those. One of the things I'll remember, and I'm sorry for digressing on this one. I may have mentioned it before, but the Peter Mayhew picture, which is the first picture we ever did at Comic-Con or at Fan Expo. I walk in, he looks at me. Peter Mayhew is from England, and he gives me a look and he goes, "You're the big one, aren't you?" And this man is like 7 feet tall. I said, "Well, you're one to talk, sir." Mm-hmm. And I shook hands with him, and his hands, my name is Sir Bigness for a reason. His hands were every bit as big. His hands like swallowed my hands. Just a very big, but such a sweet, sweet man. May he rest in peace. Such a gentle, kind person. But if you're watching this and you've never gone to a fan expo, it's worth it. It every bit is worth it to see the cosplay, to have some memories, to build some memories with friends. You guys can't see the back wall here at headquarters, but we've got pictures of the meetings that we've done with various celebrities. And if it's nothing but a 5-10 second interaction, it's still pretty cool. I will remember that. We have a picture with Mark Hamill. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. And I'll remember all of these. And it's just a phenomenal thing. Treat yourself if you're into the nerd thing, and go.
God's sakes, make sure you opt in for the Ultimate, because
Yeah,
honestly, that
opt in for
after
the
seeing what Ultimate Pass does, it's like worth its weight in gold. I'm gonna do it next year for sure.
Mm-hmm. It is worth it. It is definitely worth it. I apologize if I'm monopolizing the conversation, but I am going to call out Mr. MVP right here. Tuesday of Con Week, he says he invites me over to Six Guns house, another member of the Beers of War. Y'all excuse my dogs are making a guest appearance. But he he invites me over to Six Guns house. I go over to Six Guns house. I'm talking to him, and Tim comes in, and behind him I hear "Hello," which is the dulcet baritone of our dear friend from down under, Travis, Night Dragul, who we haven't seen in 7 years. He flew in from Australia, and Beer Ninja kept it a secret from us. It was wonderful to see him, get to spend some time with him and hang out with him. And then we get to Fan Expo, and they're coming, they're trying to locate us, and we're all walking to sit down and maybe have a bite to eat or something between photo ops. And he rounds the corner, and there's Kyle, who we hadn't seen, aka Puddin', who we hadn't seen in 7 years. Flew in from Georgia, and someone else also kept it a secret. And of all the celebrities I met, with no disrespect to Adam Savage or Giancarlo Esposito, Emily Swallow, Alan Tudyk, the highlight of the week was seeing them. It was phenomenal to see them, and hopefully it can be something we can do. Maybe some of the beers that don't live stateside or live close by. Next year when we do this, we can get them involved as well.
Yeah, because that was the biggest thing. Because when we found out that Travis and Kyle was there, Misty's like, if we would have known, we would have made sure we came down and visited that as well.
In my defense, when we started wrestling with the idea of everybody meeting up and everything, I was telling Travis about it. I always invite him, or I always, reach out to him about it, or we're always just playing on Xbox or something. And, he was like, he told me, hey, I'm going to come down for Comic-Con this year. And, I was like, that's going to be freaking amazing. Everybody's going to be so happy and stuff. He goes, in his Australian voice, I want it to be a secret, just something like that. I don't want people knowing coming, he's coming down over and everything. Right. And, I was like, okay. What's that? So I was like all, for it and everything. I was like, yeah, this would be kind of cool. It'll be a great surprise. That's a good idea. What you don't know when you do that is that you have this secret over your head for the next 2 months. You can't, and I almost slipped up a couple of times. I almost messed up a couple of times, and I had to really correct myself. I remember James Lyles, he was helping me move a rack over from one house to another and stuff. And I started talking to him about it. I was like, hey, Travis, right? And he's like, yeah. It's like, Travis? And I thought maybe I had told James about it. I was like, thinking in my head, oh, man, I didn't tell him about it. Yeah, he reached out, and he was just talking about all of us wanting to play video games again together and stuff. So I thought that I'd bring that to your attention. So I almost screwed up that time right there. So I was like, okay, I saved it. But what's really hard about it is that when we have to organize and get the pictures taken, because you may have to buy another ticket or two, because you can usually, when you're taking a picture with a celebrity, you can have up to 4 people in that picture. So we've had, like the Mark Hamill one, we had a full set too, right? 8 people in that picture and everything. Well, the hard part about it is that you don't know what ticket you're really going to get right away. They just come and go. So they go down a row and everything, group 1, group 2, group 3. So when we started talking about it, all of us, like with Bigness and everybody, we had this own special group for it. And we're talking about what celebrities we're going to meet and what time they are. I was being extra analytical about it. Like what time, what group, what, this and that. And so, and while I'm doing that, I'm texting Travis over here saying, get it, group 3. So he's buying the tickets in the background while I'm talking to them and everything. So that was probably the hardest part of trying to keep, keep the secret and surprising everybody, get photo ops and everything like that, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And, and I think part of the reason why he did it was he just didn't want to put anybody out or anything like that. And I'm like thinking to myself, as soon as they find you, man, it's game over. So, we got to go hang out at Bigness at headquarters and everything like that. So it was great. Had a good time there. We had a good time at Shane's. But anyways, we had a good time at Shane's and stuff. So that was really hard. And then Kyle wanted to get in on, come down, because we've been talking with Kyle and everything. He hadn't been here, aka Puddin'. We'll make it a secret too and everything. And that wasn't as hard, because he decided to come down for Thursday night and stay at the Friday, Saturday, and then leave Sunday. So all I had to do was just pack Travis back up in the car, drive back to Dallas and everything, pick Puddin' up, and then, next thing you know, we're at the hotel. And that's when Bigness and them and everybody else got to see Kyle at that point. So I told them, I am never doing this again. I don't want to make anything a secret. It's so much easier when everything's on the table, because especially when you got to organize a photo op and everything. And I know at some point it was driving Travis a little crazy and everything. So yeah, so that was my big secret. That was my big surprise and everything like that. Oh, and then I tried to, I pretended after we saw Kevin with Kyle and everything. He goes, hang on. I go, hang on. There's one more surprise. I acted like I was going to propose to him in front of everybody at the Comic-Con and stuff like that. What? So, I was just messing with him. But
it is Pride Month.
It was really cool.
I said it is Pride Month.
Yeah. It is Pride Month. Happy Pride to all who celebrate.
Brendan said last night, in honor of Pride Month, I'm not going to do your mom, I'm going to do your dad.
Oh. But anyways, yeah, good times, man. Looking forward to next year. I think I got more of a strategy plan now when it comes to getting a place to stay and getting transportation, all that good stuff. I do recommend, though, if you guys do go to a Comic-Con, show up an hour early so you can find better parking.
Yes.
Believe me. Even 2 hours, maybe. Just believe me.
The dates for Fan Expo next year are May 30th through June the 1st. So we already have dates. We're contemplating doing a double dip. Houston, which it isn't the same group of people. It's Comic Palooza, I believe it is in Houston. Their Memorial Day weekend and Fan Expo is the following weekend. So we're contemplating doing a double dip. I've got to get on Ozempic or something before then, because my shins will never forgive me for all that walking.
What's the date of the Houston one?
Comic Palooza.
I mean, what's the dates? Do you know?
It's Memorial Day weekend, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is if Fan Expo is Fan Expo is the 30th through the 1st, 30th of May through the 1st. Comic Palooza Memorial Day will be the 25th, so it'll be 22nd through 24th.
Okay, I definitely know we probably cannot do that one, because Misty's last day of work would be Thursday before Memorial Day.
Okay.
So, but we might try something next year. Maybe try to do the Fan Expo in Dallas. Come down and visit you guys.
Okay.
And we won't have kids. Thank God. I'm ready. I'm ready for a non-kid vacation. They're all adults now. They can do their own thing.
They're technically adults, which means they're old enough to serve in the military. They're not adults yet. And it's not your kids in specific. I'm not. It's not just talking about your kids. The 27, soon to be 28-year-old that I have. Yeah, he about to pay his first light bill. Yeah, he adult now. And I told him that all the time. I was like, he's like, well, I'm an adult. You ain't an adult until you pay an electric bill, son.
So young and naive.
Didn't that? They about to find out why we mad all the time.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day. It ain't no bullshit. Let's pour them up, fellas.
So,
what are you drinking, Matilda?
I just got Dr. Pepper because I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Ninja, tell us what you're drinking.
I purchased, Texas' oldest craft brewery called St. Arnold. It's made in Houston, Texas. Not sponsored by them or anything. It is a very hoppy IPA. I will say that, but it's a pretty good one. So if you are going to drink, please drink responsibly.
And I am drinking in honor of Pride Month. Turn the other way. Taste of Rainbows. It's a fruit flavored vodka that I got from where did I get it? CW Spirits. Some of the weirder stuff that you'll see behind the bar. I pick a lot of it up at CW Spirits. We picked a bunch of it up on sale, which we're still working through those booze videos. So, get them up, gentlemen.
One.
Thank you
Two.
again. If you drink,
May
drink
you
with me.
drink with me.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.